Your new box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. My name's Max Denberg. Today I'm going to break down the box office of this past weekend, which was from May 17th to May 19th. And we're going to break down the overall worldwide and domestic box office so far this year in 2023 and preview the week ahead. Again, welcome back to Max Talks Movies. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. And now doing this show every single Monday. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new. Also do other TV show reviews, movie reviews, and movie franchise rankings. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on this past weekend at the box office? Talk to me about those disappointing numbers for Shazam and Ant-Man and what superhero films need to fix and the success of films like Creed 3 and Scream 6. Also, what are you going to see this upcoming weekend in theaters? And also, please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel. So without further ado, let's get into this past domestic weekend's box office. Starting from Friday to Sunday, the 17th to the 19th. And coming in first place, not shockingly, is from Warner Brothers Discovery, which is the first DC film of the year, first of 4 coming out this year, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. And it is one of the most disappointing, I think, DC films in a very long time, debuting at $30.1 million, nearly double, nearly $26 million short of how the first film opened back in 2019. This is a huge misfire from Warner Brothers Discovery and this franchise moving forward. I think there's a lot of reasons, and this could be worrisome for James Gunn, Peter Safran, and DC moving forward for just this year, is that because they're doing basically a soft reboot, keeping some characters, losing some characters, I think a lot of these films are very much up in the air this year for fans because they don't know if these films matter long-term for DC. So I do feel like that some people feel like I can miss this movie and still reset with what James Gunn brings to us in 2 years, which I think could be bad news for films like The Flash, Aquaman, and definitely for the Beetle, but for Blue Beetle, sorry. Another big thing for this franchise, I think the biggest problem for this franchise has kind of been star power. I think the first one did really solid, but again, Shazam films are not made on that all-time budget like most superhero films are made. So it actually did quite well at the domestic and worldwide numbers. But since then, again, none of these actors in these movies are big-time stars. Zachary Levi is kind of tarnished that with a lot of the anti-vax remarks on social media that has gotten him a lot of haters on social media, and that finally has seemed to reflect at the box office. Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu have never been actors who've been able to drag in people at the box office. Great actors, but they're not people who bring people into the movie theater. Also, the addition, I think, of Rachel Zegler, I think a lot of people thought was going to help out coming off of West Side Story, but based off West Side Story and this movie, just not great numbers for Rachel Zegler's up-and-coming career in the movies. I think star power, I think people have just lost faith as well in DC and are just waiting for James Gunn's DC. There's just a multitude of reasons. Also, I think critics have just not liked this movie whatsoever. It's nearly a 52% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, and the cinema score is a B+ to the first film's A. So the word of mouth is not as good as it was from the first film. And with the competition coming for the next month or two, this film could really, really slide. And this is, for a big month of movies, the lone superhero film could be the worst opening of the entire month of these 5 big movies hitting theaters this month. So kind of crazy to think about. In second place in its second weekend is Scream 6. It dropped 61%. It's up to 71.5 to it got 17.5 million this past weekend. So now it's up to 76 million domestically. Again, had the biggest opening of the entire franchise, very similar to Creed 3 last week, with a near $44 million opening. Again, couldn't do the last week's show due to travel issues. But Scream 6 is doing very well. Now, this is a usual drop-off point for horror films. And again, Scream 6 looks like it could be probably getting to $100 million. The last one just got below $100 million last year. but this film's already made over $100 million worldwide. And again, these films are not made for cheap. So I think this idea of making a new Scream film every year is so far working in the way of Paramount, which continues to pipe out winners, and it still has Dungeons and Dragons and Mission Impossible and many others coming throughout the year. So again, great start to the year for Paramount. Just like they did with Scream 5 last year, Scream 6 also delivers that as well. In third place in its third weekend is Creed 3, dropping 44%. This is from United Artists. 15.3 in its third weekend, 127.6 domestic. These are fantastic numbers for the Creed franchise. This probably will be the highest grossing Creed film in the entire franchise, after also getting its best opening. The word of mouth for this movie is very good, including giving Michael B. Jordan and Amazon Prime this whole Rocky verse that Michael B. Jordan will be spearheading for anime shows, for TV shows, and movies moving forward. So it'll be interesting where this franchise goes. But Creed 3 is doing very, very well. And it's, as I said, it's weird that the two superhero films have really not done well at all in the last month. And the two films that are franchised, but one's a boxing movie and one's a horror film, have gone franchise best, missing their OG person, with Scream missing Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott and Creed 3 missing Sylvester Stallone as Rocky Balboa, both still doing franchise best at the openings of the weekend. Just amazing stuff story-wise this upcoming weekend. In fourth place, dropping 53% in its second weekend, is from Sony with 65. Gets $5.8 million, is up to 22.4 domestically, and not a super high budgeted film. Not a lot of people are talking about this movie with Adam Driver, but I think he's done better than people think. This is a movie that doesn't have great cinema scores, great Rotten Tomatoes scores, but a lot of people still did enough, checked out this movie. I still think Adam Driver is going to be a big-time box office person, depending on the projects that he continues to choose. But 65 is kind of a lukewarm win for Sony. I'll look into those numbers for next week as well, but we'll see in the next week or two how good 65 truly is at the box office. And finishing out the top five in its fifth weekend is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania from Disney. Another $4 million this past weekend. It's a 42% drop. And now it's up to 205.8. So the good news is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania will overpass the first Ant-Man domestically, but I don't think it will be able to pass both the first or the second Ant-Man film at the worldwide box office. This is really bad numbers for Marvel. And it's led to a lot of nervousness within Disney, with Marvel now getting rid of those summer or fall release dates for its shows. He put all of those TV show trailers now to say coming soon. So I think a lot of people at Marvel are very hesitant. I think the product has completely gone down in the last year, and the box office will show it, but I think also the quality of movie is kind of what's affecting all of this. A lot of people are talking about oversaturation, but I do think if the quality was good, I don't think people would care. The quality definitely has dipped off with these movies. And I also think that another problem for Marvel is that because of the shows and the movies, I think a lot of people, since really Endgame, have kind of fallen off with the order and have not caught up on all of the Marvel things. So we're going to keep breaking down Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania for a long time now, so it's at number 5. When we look at the overall domestic box office charts, we already have two films over $100 million this year, which is great. Have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania 205.8 as a number 1. Creed 3 is at 127.6. Amazing numbers for Creed 3. We'll see if we can I don't think it will catch Ant-Man 3, but we'll see. Megan is excited again, not going to get to $100 million at 95 right now. Scream 6 is probably going to pass Megan at some point at 76 million domestically. And then the rest of the top 10 falls as A Man Called Otto, Cocaine Bear, Jesus Revolution, 80 for Brady, Knock at the Cabin, and Missing. We get to the overall worldwide box office for this year so far. For the U.S. films that have made it into the top 10, again, 2 Chinese films are 1 and 2 at the box office, but Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is the third biggest movie of the year so far with 462 worldwide. Again, I think we said like 650 to 700 million, like a okay number for Marvel, so you can tell how bad this movie truly is doing at the worldwide box office. 205 domestic, 256 worldwide for Quantumania. Creed 3 is number 4 at the worldwide box office, 224.2 million worldwide with 127 domestic and 96.6 international. So great stuff for Creed 3. Also in the top 10 from the US is Scream 6. It's at number 8, 116 now millions. It's already over $100 million worldwide in 2 weekends. Big time numbers for Scream 6 as Paramount gets another big win for this horror franchise. 76 of that domestic and 40 million of that is international. So we're heading into the second to last weekend at the box office in the month of March, which is kind of crazy already how the year is flying by. So coming out this weekend, the big movie coming out this weekend is John Wick Chapter 4. Is hitting theaters this upcoming weekend. It's projected to be a franchise best, around that 60 to 70 million projection at the moment. We'll see, as the movie is nearly 3 hours long and rated R. So we'll see how John Wick Chapter 4 does at the box office this upcoming weekend. It's one of the more underrated action franchises of the last 10 years, and we'll see if it can continue its most recent success. We're also going to continue to break down the struggle for the superhero films like Shazam and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. More videos are coming this week, including a review of Shazam: Fury of the Gods coming this week, as well as a review of the newest episodes of Mandalorian and Bad Batch. And then next week, you'll get my, again, box office breakdown show and a John Wick Chapter 4 review. So stay tuned for the channel for more reviews. I'll see you guys soon.